The clang of spatulas and the low drone of coolers always faded away once I walked into the classroom. That day, with the sky outside heavy and grey, rain trickling down the bakery windows, the room felt two bright white tiles swirling into scuffed blue linoleum under my shoes. It was critique day for the pastry program, a day I'd anticipated for weeks, yet under fluorescent light my pulse hammered, threatening to drown out everything. I steadied my ginger lime croquembouche on the steel prep table, fingers cold and clammy. A slender tower of golden puffs wrapped in sugar lace flecked with edible gold leaf, each swirl of icing placed with hands that only just stopped trembling. This was my leap, the thing I'd half hoped would prove those voices wrong, impractical, too fussy, just bake something normal for once. Around me, classmates whispered and laughed. Amy arranged her deconstructed black forest cake with studied care, while Daniel lined up his tartlets in flawless rows. Miss Kusama, our instructor, sharp and watchful, drifted among us. I wished for once she wouldn't notice me. Eva, she called, voice slicing through the chatter. I swallowed, pushing words past a dry tongue. It's my croquembouche I wanted. She cut in, eyebrows raised. A French wedding cake in Vancouver. Not exactly what the bakeries are after, is it? A few snickers slipped out. Amy threw Daniel a look over her shoulder, stifling a laugh. I tried again. I thought ginger and lime might. Daniel jumped in. So not only a tower but sour too. Laughter spiked, sharp, not friendly. Miss Kusama narrowed her eyes, examining the spun sugar. What are you trying to prove, Eva? I wanted to say, because I've had to fight for every bit of this, because beauty should be brave, because my shaking hands could turn hurt into elegance. Instead, I murmured, our city's so mixed, maybe pastry could be too. Playful, not just classic. No one said a word, someone coughed. Miss Kusama pursed her lips. Lovely thought, but you need to learn the market. You won't pay rent with ginger lime puffs. People want butter tarts, not whatever this is. My face burned. The gold flecks looked ridiculous now, desperate. I tried to stand up straighter. Let's move on, she signaled Daniel over. I drifted back, the room slipping out of focus, laughter echoing tight and cold in my chest. Amy leaned in, stage whispered, better luck fitting in next time, pastry queen. Daniel smirked, arms crossed. I left my croquembouche untouched. The urge to smash it pulsed, but instead I left, fingers tightening on my bag, the scent of scones and disappointment in my nose. I pressed through the emergency door, the hallway colder and stiller than the classroom. On my way home, Vancouver's chill crept under my scarf. Rain intensified. I kept running over that moment, every smirk, every snort. I wanted to scream, but yelling had always ended in lectures, manners, and potential. I kept quiet, creeping in through the back door, hoping to avoid Dad, yet there he was, hunched at the sink. Don't slam it, he barked, glancing at me. I didn't slam. He eyed my backpack stuffed with apron and clogs. You learn something practical or just more of that fancy stuff today? It was critique day, I said, flicking rain from my glasses. They didn't like it. He shrugged, told you, people pay for what they know, not frills. You want steady work, go fry donuts. My throat closed. I don't want donuts. He shook his head. Then don't expect comfort. That was always it, straight lines of success, doctor, engineer, not baker. My aunts asked when I'd get a real job. My cousins, when Mom showed them cake photos, looked baffled. Would you actually eat that? Their comments clung to me on nights I lay awake, the fridge humming in the dark, hands aching from piping practice. I worked months kneading dough, learning the subtle signs, caramel cracking just so, flour's grain at 6 minutes, how a silent room might mean a perfect bite. No one saw any of it. I failed 2 job interviews. At an uptown spot, the chef nibbled my madeleines, bored. Thanks, but no. By graduation, most classmates already had contracts. I worked at a cafe, icing cupcakes for minimum wage. My diploma hung on the fridge, less a trophy, more a reminder. Still, I baked after hours, bent over flour and eggs, squishing dough into shape in our tiny oven. My sketchbooks filled, tangerine eclairs, soursop tartlets. At dinner, my family rolled their eyes when I shared new recipes. Apple pie's good enough, Dad grumbled as he left half a slice of my coconut maple tart untouched. I kept my bitterness quiet, folding it into dough. I pressed it down, let it rise. 3 years of night work, day shifts, then I moved to a dingy East Van basement. By day, I prepped at a bakery warehouse, bulk flour, giant mixers, scrubbing floors. By night, I tinkered. I emailed bakeries offering free samples, most ignored me. Finally, Jean Mitchell from a patisserie on Granville Island tried my lemon yuzu tarts. Interesting, he said, tiny and spry, fingers crooked. Bring 20 tomorrow. They sold out by noon. I spent the day behind the counter answering questions. What is yuzu? Is the ginger local? People posted photos, tagged my name. By week's end, we were out by 2 every day. Jean Mitchell offered the late shift, 5 hours, barely enough pay, but a shot. I took it. That year burned. Failures ruined dough's runny fillings. Still, each week I sold more. Matcha cashew cakes, black sesame financiers, mango chili meringues. My following grew steady and small, no flash but plenty of grit. Jean Mitchell let me use whatever leftovers I wanted after hours. I grabbed every catering call, every birthday order. Foodie Fest came and Jean Mitchell signed me up. Don't be afraid. I smiled. I'd been afraid for too long. A food editor tasted my passion fruit madeleines, wrote me up. Eva Cheng's flavor fireworks. Orders followed, small clients, then bigger ones, private events, then a boutique hotel. I made mistakes, always tried again. 2 more years scraping and saving. I leased a skinny shop in Mount Pleasant, old cafe, all second-hand fixtures, walls muddied from past tenants. My loan was brutal, but I clung to it. I painted the walls jade, bought beat-up tables, scrubbed everything myself. I called it Sweet Anomaly. I started with 8 menu items, all risky. At first it was quiet, dogs from the next door groomer barked, my old espresso machine sputtered. But Instagram caught on, my pastries glowing in morning light, galettes torn open, laughter in the pictures. A TV crew filmed a profile during my first chilly November. That week we sold out by noon 3 days straight. Spiced lychee croissants got a wait list. Some people crossed the city for the weird cakes. I hired a student, then another. My 4th year, the stress faded, barely enough profit, but no more panic every month. I hardly saw my family. Mom texted, sent cat pictures, Dad never called. My cousins added me on Instagram, saw your shop, looks cool. They'd never stopped by. I tried to make it hurt less. But some nights, as the bakery stilled, I felt their doubts pulsing, old wounds resurfacing, a slice of shame, a taste of longing. Then one March Thursday my sister messaged, Dad retires Saturday, big dinner. You coming? The bakery was closed Sunday, so I said, I'll be there, should I bring cake? She sent back thumbs ups, can't wait to see the family cake celebrity in person. Saturday night the air was thick with rain. I wore jeans and a navy sweater, nervous the whole ride. City lights blurred past, old memories collecting like puddles, Dad's gruff hikes, cheap coffee, me always wanting something else. The house buzzed with laughter. Aunt May patted flour from her hands onto my shoulder. Eva, about time you dropped by. Her words always strung, but the look in her eyes was softer than I remembered. Dad was leaner, face lined, but posture unchanged, arms folded, watching his retirement cards. My cousins loitered nearby, sneaking glances. I caught flashes of conversation. That's her, yeah. Pastry shop TV girl. Dinner stumbled along, noodles, roast chicken, awkward silences. Mom kept sliding food onto my plate. You're too skinny, eat more. When dessert came, I pulled out my cake, a passion fruit ginger mousse, yuzu syrup, candied kumquats, gold leaf. I'd agonized over it all night. Silence thickened as I placed it down. My youngest cousin whispered, no apple pie. Dad was unreadable as always, but his gaze didn't leave the cake. I cleared my throat. It's something from my menu. Kind of what I tried in school, just better balanced. I hope you'll give it a chance. Hands sticky, I sliced it, praying it held together. Gold tart shining under the cheap kitchen light. My cousin Clara took a bite, eyes widening. Whoa, actually, good, not what I expected. Aunt May tasted it, not sweet but nice, really nice, Eva. Chatter resumed, slowly at first, no snickering, no awkward jokes. Dad ate in silence, then reached for a second slice. He looked at me, voice low, you make this at your shop? I nodded, people buy this. Yes, my cheeks went hot. He grunted, softer than I remembered. Never had anything like it, you made it work, different but good. Really? Later, my aunts asked for recipes, cousins commented on my Instagram photos. My uncle asked if I'd do a chocolate version for his wife, not mockery, genuine interest. I stepped outside to the scent of moss, cool rain spattering. The lights from the old bakery across the city blinked in the night. The door opened and Dad joined me, hands in his pockets. We listened to the drizzle. He cleared his throat. Your mother says the shop's popular, people are proud. I stared at the dark yard, breathing. We do okay, I never thought I'd get here. He shifted, glancing at his feet, had to see it to believe it. I just wanted you safe, Eva. I know, I said, the rain blurred the streetlights. He nodded. Didn't expect this, you proved me wrong. It wasn't a big, cinematic moment, just a crack of real warmth. No sweeping apology, but something changed between us. The night wound down, I helped Mom pack leftovers, my cousins peppered me with questions, Daniel, now working at a chain restaurant, asked about baking ratios. The conversation had shifted, old patterns bent but not broken. That night in my childhood bed, I let all the old anger ease away. Something lighter overtook me, relief, acceptance, a sharper pride than before. Monday I returned to my bakery, pans clanging, the yeasty warmth familiar and sure. My customers didn't care about old doubts or past rejection. They wanted the flavor, the surprise, the story wrapped in sugar and spice. My hands moved quickly, lighter than before, working without the same ache. Sometimes I'd look out the rain-speckled windows toward the city lights and think about those years, the laughter, the skepticism, the bitterness. I'd taste it all in my own pastries, rage and hope baked in every layer. Sweet Anomaly was mine, every inch hard won, and now, no matter where I went or what my family said, I knew I'd claimed my place and had finally come home.